The Way Forward. It'll be a culmination of the wisdom and knowledge we've gathered over these enlightening discussions. Leading the way as our lead discussant is Professor Dr. Gilvan Oliveira. With a wealth of experience and expertise, Dr. Oliveira will guide us towards understanding the path forward. Please welcome Dr. Gilvan Oliveira. Joining him are our esteemed panelists, Dr. Umarani, Mr. Somi Roy, and Mufatiba Lunkumar, Principal and the co-convener of INTACH Nagaland Chapter. These experts will share their perspectives on how we can translate the insights gained into meaningful actions. As we reflect on the enriching discussions of the day, this final session will set the stage for what comes next, emphasizing the importance of carrying forward the torch of cultural preservation and understanding. So let's gather our thoughts and please join me in welcoming all our distinguished guests for the way forward. Mr. Dharam Singh, could you please kindly join us up here?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank all people that brought their words in this wonderful festival, singers, speakers, gurus, in presentations of diverse types with so many ideas and so many work behind. So we are here to discuss. I'm here only coordinating this discussion so that we could get ideas for the future, ideas for developing the festival in different directions and in different aspects. Now I would like only to begin with one topic and then I give the word to my colleagues. How could we improve the multilingual character of the listener, provoking uses of different uses of different languages, using translation, using interpretation, including all classes of languages that are present in a region. For example, it's very important to give importance to the mother tongues and the traditional languages. But for example, in Nagaland, Nagamese is an important language as well. It should not be forgotten that a multiplicity of languages are there, even when we don't see them with the same eyes. For example, sign languages. In UNESCO, sign languages came to a central part of the stage because till some decades ago, sign languages were not recognized as languages. And today we know that in the world there are 122 recognized sign languages. Millions of people are users of sign language. Just to give an example, how we could expand the view of multilingualism in diverse directions. In this aspect, we could get some ideas from the present people. For example, for developing community dialogues about languages experiences, traditional food and crafts connected to languages, oral histories exhibitions, language workshops where people could quickly learn small parts of a language and make experiences, learning languages, teaching languages. And maybe it would be very interesting to have a program for kids, that kids could participate in the festival, learning cooking traditional food spoken in the languages, or developing some languages games. Now we have some museums in the world that are language museums. In São Paulo, for example, we have the Museum of the Portuguese Language, and there are many games with languages for kids, finding words and etc. So just some small ideas in one topic, how to improve multilingualism and the use of languages. We could develop other lines, and I ask my colleagues to give other ideas, and then we can discuss multiplicity of Maran.
Yeah, just to add to what you said, we can make it more colorful and more festive-like, because of course these 2 days was a wonderful experience, knowing about many traditions and oralities of not only Nagaland but Meghalaya too, because we had a chance to experience something from the whistling sounds and other aspects of Kasi culture. I was also wondering, it would be nice with the advances in technology to have some kind of interactive maps or something, like, since Jilwan just mentioned about language museums, it will be nice to have some stalls installed where you have a booth for interactive maps. Not only kids, even others who want to know about, say, Karbi culture or this chanting, what just a while ago someone was presenting. So you just touch a button, you just going to click on a tribe, you click sub-tribes, and what's more important, featuring something digitally, and that will be a unique experience. Maybe over the years, as listener expands from one state to another, maybe this could happen. It just occurred to me when you mentioned about museum. I thought that could be one aspect what is lacking here, because we are now living in the digital era. So that way it would also give a digital presence, thereby leading to digital empowerment, if I may say so, for these languages. So coming back to stalls, I thought like 1 or 2 days, I do not know, depending on the funding, how many days one could go on with this festival. Right now we have 3 days, and I know it's very difficult to put things together. So maybe we could also have 1 day exclusively for exhibitions and stalls, where we get some visual experience, come back and talk about it in the seminars. Like 1 day, like the Mexicans do, for instance. Because I was lucky enough to be part of one of those workshops, where before the actual festival began, a pre-festival exhibition or something like that, where you have stalls or a few stalls for different states, 8 states, depends on how much we can do, how much money we get to put up those stalls, and what are the things, like you said, the food galleries, or maybe these costumes and ornaments, which are very important, or whatever is very specific and unique to that particular culture, like our Nagas. What makes them so distinct from Angami? Maybe a stall for that, and have some items. And the language games, what you mentioned, maybe we could have a stall where children can play. We can have some interesting language puzzles or games, and maybe some competitions, so that it's not raising revenue, but anything that comes free is not well taken in several countries. So if you charge a little, maybe they also say, okay, I paid some 50 rupees or something to participate, I should be a winner. we want everyone to be a winner, but their competitions make it more exciting. So for kids and for other, also for storytellers, competitions across the states or something, not to create any division among states, but to create more and more curiosity and see that many more participations come. And it would be nice to have at least one representative from each state in all the listener festivals. The main focus can be on the host state, but we must include at least one or two programs. It could be a song or it could be a language game, some activity which represents Sikkim or something about Tripura, so that we have an experience of all the states. I will continue after my other colleague speaks.
I want to thank you both. I especially want to thank Uma because she's been to both listener festivals, both in Manipur and in Kohima. Of course, we had worked before and virtually, but he really didn't meet people here, didn't experience it here. The Impal one was 1 day longer than here, and there are a few things, and Sentila will add to this later, that we wanted to do, which was all on our cards, we planned it, etc., but eventually we did not do, okay? And she'll tell you more about those later. I'll tell you the one thing that we've been doing is to try to do things that we failed to do last time, that we always wanted to do. Like, two main things this year. One is that we had a fabulous social media team, okay? And what we did in social media in the Impal listener and what we did in, our team did for listener Nagaland is night and day. Led by Lipok. Where's Lipok? Somewhere there. Anyway, take a bow wherever you are. Attila, Tangdong. I mean, these were amazing. We were rolling out the listener of Nagaland, one Instagram post at a time, every day, every 24 hours. And we started that to build an awareness of the concept of the festival before we began to post the details, like who's coming for us. Before that, we actually said, like, who is the listener for? What is it about? We have to roll that out, so we created a new Instagram thing. Please understand, this is only the second festival, and both festivals are taking place in 2023. We had only, 8 months, was it, Sentila? February to November, right? 7 months to put this together, because we fell out of step with the first one. We were delayed for some fundraising reasons, like funds that were promised to us that was not confirmed, so we kept waiting for it. And so we had planned to do this last October. We ended up doing it in February, and we did a Kickstart program at UNESCO in December instead. So this is an evolving concept, and we're going to take notes about what you said. We're going to think about all these things. You know, there's my partner, Sanjeev, my partner, Atul, Sentila, me. I mean, we're going to process all this down the line in the next couple of weeks as we prepare our dossier and report, and to see where we failed to do, where we exceeded our expectations. The design work this time is much better and professional because Lipok is a very good designer. And his social media team that he put together of Attila, wave, she's waving in the back over there. And Tang Dong, who's probably posting about us right now, has been really very good. And the second thing that we were not able to do last time, but we were able to pull off this time, is the live streaming. Okay, so that is something that we are actually getting responses on the email that we put there. People are watching. They indeed are watching. Now the people are saying, like Preeti Gill is saying, oh, I've been watching this, I'm going to come next year. So this is having that very salutary effect. So that is one thing that's very good. We tried to do children. We talked about doing things for the blind, school for the blind, because oral literature is obviously for people who don't read, right? You don't have to read oral literature. So apart from sign language, we also wanted to appeal to blind kids. There's a visually impaired school around here, and wherever, most cities have them, most state capitals have them. So that's one thing we thought about. Her program is different from the Impal program, right? Both of them, I mean, it's quite incredible. The narrative of the Shah was an entrancing thing. The actual ritual, that was, the Heraka ritual, was also fabulous, right? Yesterday was more on performance as music. Today was more on the languages. Yes, and the question about why not use our own languages, etc., which the gentleman had asked before, I think it's a very important question. Do I agree with it? Yes. Do I disagree with it? No. So actually there's something to be said about what he's saying. Why is it that in our proposal, Sentila, we wrote that the language of the festival is English. It has to be English. We have no choice. There's no lingua franca for the entire region. So it is what it is. So we have to use that. But at the same time, like today's prayers, today's the recitation by Lecte, D.S. Lecte, right? And the Heraka prayers, for instance. Now these are all, we've recorded everything, and we've started a listener collection at UNT, University of North Texas, outside of Dallas, in a town called Denton. And so everything that we taped last time, in Impal, we edited it. You can see it online now on YouTube, and the original files in high res are now sitting in Texas. We had professors and staff in UNT, and as well as Indiana University. They're handling this. And the reason we give it to them is because they have an institutional commitment, a demonstrated commitment to archiving. Because archiving is an ongoing thing. It's never going to end. You really have to have funds committed and an institutional policy commitment. So the idea of multilingualism, we want to add that to the archival concept too. And so the recordings today of the actual languages being spoken that we heard, that I didn't understand a word of. I turned to Wicham, who's from Tamenglong in Manipur. He's handling the archive here. I asked him, can you understand what the Heraka people are saying and talking? He says, it's my language, but I cannot understand them. What an amazing statement, you know? So we will keep growing, we will keep evolving, we'll keep changing, and whatever works we'll do more of. As Da Vinci said, some things work, many fail. Whatever works, I do more of it. That's what he said. So we're good. Basically, we're taking notes or mental notes. At least our team over there, as we move, towards the end of this, and especially Uma, your feel of the festival, that it should be more fun, something more physically active, like going to a stall or doing word games or something. I think that's a very important thing, so that people feel a sense of belonging and interactivity, right? So all your comments from now on, I talk too much, I'll stop here. From now on, we're going to listen to you, because your first impressions, anything that you want to say about how we do it, and what it was like to listen to Jemarin again, for instance, right? I want to hear. We want to hear.
Thank you. I'd like to share a special thanks to you and your foundation, Imasi Foundation, for, in fact, conceptualizing this festival of orality, and then bringing all the brilliant resource persons from all over the world. So this is a very golden opportunity that I'm also experiencing today, starting from day before. In fact, now we have discussed in length, so I don't think I can put or add much to it. And then I feel that we are the most privileged lot. We are sitting here comfortably thinking and worrying about those people who are going to lose their language. We understand the problem. We discuss here so much. But the person, the targeted group, they are not aware. This is how I look at things. So then, how do we reach out to them? That is what I was just pondering over it. Because we have to find a way forward to remedy them. That is what I was just contemplating. I don't have a ready-made answer for that anyway. But this festival will provide a better platform and future. And not only that, when we have such festival, I think it'll be good enough for us to think about or conceptualize certain pilot project to translate our efforts here into a reality for those languages which are going to be disappeared or will be lost forever. So I think if we can initiate certain project towards that direction, identify from the listing who are immediately to be losing their language. We cannot go at once to all those language who are endangered, but especially to those languages which are now just on the fringes to be lost within a span of 1 or 2 years' time or maybe 5 years' time, so that we find a way and then try to find a practical solution to their problem. I think if we can move towards that direction also through this platform, I think that will be one egg of way forward. That is what I feel. Like for instance, I'll just bring one simple example with our community. We had an academy. That means this is a traditional institution. So it will be good in that traditional institution is as good as phased out now. Now if we can reintroduce that traditional institution, which in fact is an academy, because with our community, Arichu was the place of learning, where the elderlies and the villagers used to teach the younger generation.
It's a physical space.
Now that physical space, Arichu is gone, and nobody is there, since there is no house. Okay, that academy is no more. And this phasing out happens with the like external influences, such as religion, advent of religion, and then again with the Western administration coming over, so substituting our traditional exercises, So then, what do we do about this? Because that particular institution, the Ariju that I am referring to, the younger ones used to sleep overnight. And that is the time, in the evening time, they sing song, they learn how to sing song, and again, learn how to speak in a deep meaning of our own community. And then like sing song means sing talk, because they used to communicate by singing also. Okay, two-way system. And then again, that sing song or sing speak system used to have again few genres. So even now, still some residue of those things are still remaining there with the elders. So if we can reinstitute such academy or such establishment, then I think the retention of the language will be there. Continuity will be maintained. So this is, I think, one way that I was just thinking over the last few days when we were deliberating on how to conserve or how to revive languages that are to be lost in a very short time from now. So I think maybe I can pass it on.
Want to add something about your dormant, the idea of dormancy or not? You can go back to it. Keep it short and go back.
Yeah, so,
Reminding me of the comment of the university.
sorry?
So in Hawaii, you You said there's a concept of
Yes, okay, yeah.
dormancy in
Yes,
culture.
yes, the University of Hawaii, the people
That can be
who
revived.
are engaged. The University of Hawaii in the United States are working on a concept called dormant languages, like I mentioned in the morning. Many of our languages here are in that state, like sleeping beauties, sleeping languages. So maybe we need to wake them up, and for that, whatever you're saying, something like language nests and kind of apprentice programs, the elders teaching youngsters at leisure hours. Either you could have the old style, or maybe you could have it during the weekends. Something that comes to my mind is nowadays most parents send their kids to different camps, summer camps, winter camps. Why not indigenous language camps? So this is something Imasi or INTACH can take it up, because that is something which would be beneficial for intergenerational knowledge transmission.
That is it. When we talk about this kind of initiatives, the initiatives I think should also come from the communities. And as he was very rightly saying, that we are here in the comfort of this beautiful building, and then the people who are actually suffering or going through that problem of language loss or culture loss, they are not aware of it. I'm talking about the Kirby experience. In 1974, so some 50 years ago, we organized the Kirby Youth Festival. So that was basically, that festival grew out of a particular government resolution, the state government resolution. I'm talking about Assam. So they wanted to impose, Assamese everywhere. Then the Kirby students, the youth, they raised protest against this, that there are so many different languages. So why, create this issue? Then we started with the Kirby Youth Festival because it made sense, because we wanted to ensure that our younger generation is aware of the situation that we are going through, and then creating awareness that unless you wake up, unless you stand up and do something, to preserve your cultural heritages, everything will go. It doesn't take long. So today it is 50 years, and then again, since about 10 years, schools have sprung up, where young people are taught how to sing, the kind of chant that my colleague had just demonstrated. So we are teaching young people from different backgrounds. So some wants to become priests, so they need to learn the art. So they come take part in the school. So these are kind of not very formal kind of schools. They come, they take part, and maybe thrice or twice in a week. And the teachers, they come. Teachers may be from anyone, but we have a group of people who will, certain people will teach them drumming, certain people will teach them how to chant. So as he was, talking about the old tradition, the kind of, our tribal institutions which have now disappeared, but they still have very practical implications for us. And then now with the advancement of digital technology, so many things can be used. As earlier during one of the sessions, some of our friends demonstrated how digital art can be used to popularize and make people aware of their heritages. So I think in Karbi experience, these have been gaining ground, and then actually people are rediscovering themselves. That yes, there are still so many things that we can be proud of, and then there are still possibilities that we can actually preserve without so much of government involvement. Because we always look up to the government that they will do something, and then yes, let that day come. That day may not come. So that has something to do with the community engagement. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Sentila to give your thoughts, and after which we would love to hear from Anish. Okay, so Sentila.
Check. I think in the last 2 days there's been some very robust sessions. It's been very interesting. It's been totally our pleasure to invite everyone to give in their worldview, as Dr. Dharam would say. And it's very important that intergenerational transmission should be there, because that is the core of what this festival is about. And not only listener, but it is the core of every cultural initiative, regardless. So how do we reach out to the young? Change for me is the only constant. And we must adapt, what we have brought with us from the past, and repackage it, and then, send it out so that it reaches out to a wider audience, which is the younger lot. And that's very important, that the young should be involved, they should be made aware, and I think more than anything, the young parents of today, a lot of the onus is on their shoulders, because they themselves have veered away because they've not been taught, they never heard those stories. So it is time for them to also revert back and take lessons from the past and see how it can be, how they themselves can transmit it to their children. So we are talking about, reaching out to the younger lot, but I think today's generation, especially young parents, I think they also need to be, they need to be reached out, so that they themselves are the storytellers for their children.
Could we get the microphone to Anish, one of you guys? Any volunteer? Yeah, sure.
There's a register of good practices which is maintained. So I'd like Jiwan to tell us about it, and whether our deliberations of the last few days, can it be sort of distilled and proposal sent to the ministry, so maybe Anish could comment on that possible.
Can you repeat the question?
We could not hear you well. Could you raise your voice volume or something?
So there is a register of good practices just for preservation, for conservation. So I was wondering whether our deliberation for the last few days, we could add and suggest some additions to that register and send a proposal to the ministry. So maybe Anish can comment upon that as well. Is such a possibility exists? Is a feasible proposition?
Okay, so Anish, do you want to add something to that, and then we'll talk to Gilvan after that? We have a nice young volunteer here, very energetic, called Juba. Yay, Juba. Thank you.